How about now, people? Can you hear me now?
That's
broken.
perfect.
It's broken.
Oh my
Good
goodness.
start to the night.
This is a good start to the night. I will
I'm
edit.
not on our Twitch, and maybe I should be.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
We can be heard now.
We can be heard now. I wish I would have seen that earlier. Now I got to go through the whole spiel over again. So
Jesus.
Yeah.
Everybody. For everybody who...
So the quick version is James said that all of our people who aren't here are dead, and they're not dead. They're just not here because...
They're just not here because of sickness.
Yeah.
Or other issues. Like storms and things like that. But getting back to our sponsors, all of our sounds come from Sirenscape. All of our intro music for our show is done by the amazing Arcane Anthem over on Patreon. All of our beautiful artwork is either done by Free League or our amazing artist Breena Luna. And of course, our title sponsor is Valorhood, who does the amazing beard oils, and their treatments are incredible. So, yes.
Hey, Breena, I do have a question for you about your channel. So, is it Breena Luna Lives or Breena Luna Lives?
Lives.
Lives. Okay. I didn't know because you do live drawings, so I didn't know if it was lives as in live drawings. I didn't know.
That was a happy accident.
Okay.
It was a happy accident.
I've been wanting to ask. Breena Luna Lives is good.
Yes.
It's lets us know that when James says that we're all dead, we know that Breena Luna is still...
I'm fine. I'm here. Eternally.
Immortal.
And apparently, because I don't normally do this, I can't even get our thing to... There we go. And that needs edited as well. Anyway. Wonderful way to start off our evening, isn't it? Let's...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And our tech is going to be real weird tonight. I'm real close. James's head is real thin. But it's because our tech person is also out this week.
There's
so bear with us a little bit on that as well.
Half of the crew is out, so... yeah, sadly, we've got half of our crew out. So we're going to do the best we can, I promise. And we're going to tell a good story this evening. And hopefully nobody dies. That's my hope. Anyway. That's what happens when, half of the party doesn't show up.
Oh, no.
I'll just run away.
Just run away.
Yep.
Run.
Which might be the thing you might have to do anyways. But besides that point, do we have anything else we need to go over this evening? You can come check us out every Sunday and Wednesday on our Twitch channel. You can check us out on all of our social medias. Make sure you give us the follow so you can see when we go live. Also, this coming month, we have two amazing people on our Tavern Talks. Our first one, of course, is our sponsor, Valorhood. They'll be on this coming week. And then to finish out the ending of the year, we've got D&D in a Castle coming on to talk at the end of the year. This will be our second to last show for the holiday, as our last show will be the 18th, and then we won't pick back up until the 8th. So taking a little break so everybody can spend time with their friends and family, and we'll come back on the 8th of January to continue our story with our hobbits and other Middle Earthers, free people. Let's roll the intro, shall we?
James, we're muted again.
Yeah, I see that. I don't know what keeps happening. This is
I don't
horrible. So the company
Everybody dance.
finally returns back to Rivendell after a long adventure over to the Midgewater Marshes, where they found an old friend of his known as Roland the Generous, a stalwart character that hails from the ancient line of Beorn. After spending some time with him, there was a sudden noise outside where one of the bears was being attacked by a creature most people know as orcs. The orc, however, had strange features to it: boils on its body, darkened spots, darkened color, grayed out white milky eyes, and when stabbed or wounded in any way, didn't seem to bleed. Upon further investigation, realized after dissecting the full thing that it did not have blood inside it. This immediately alerted the party to head back to Rivendell, where they would get counsel from Lord Elrond and find out their next steps. So, you all, or rather, Orangeblossom, along with Elondir, Roland, and the Nighbird, arrive at the gates of Rivendell, right outside the cutback passes that leads you down into that ravine, mostly hidden for protection's sake. These are places that most people can't even find, let alone know the symbols that will get you to where you need to be. But you've been here before, so it takes you pretty much no time to get to the gates. You're greeted by, of course, the guard that stand there, and Achreon and Ferdinand. You can see them arriving at the gates from a high up balcony within the House of Healing, where you two have been for the last about 3 days. Achreon, you had fallen sick after the tussle you had with the creatures outside the Ettenmoor, and now and Ferdinand was not only there to help with the healing process, but also to learn more about this disease. So is there anything you or Ferdinand want to say before we continue our story with Orangeblossom?
Now then, Achreon, remember, just put this lotion on your affected areas a few times a day, and everything should come out just fine, yes?
I will do that, thank you. One thing before we return to our friends. Could you perhaps not tell them that, since you've seen that I'm actually an elf, kind of keep that to yourself?
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the size of your genitals or something like that. It's usually the thing that people want me to keep secret. But yes, I'm not even quite sure what conversation would come up where I would mention that. But sure, I'll not tell anyone.
I do appreciate it. Being that my age, I'm not permitted to leave the Megwood without express leave from King Thranduil, and I kind of shouldn't be here. So I am portraying a ranger. This is a desperate times and desperate message, and things must be taken advantage of, and we cannot lose any hands on deck, as they would say. I would assume. So, if you wouldn't mind, I do appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely. I immediately turn around and start running. H-Horn's an elf! H-Horn's and then I turn around and like, I'm just fucking with you. It's fine. I don't keep your secret.
Thank you. As he almost has a heart attack. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Thank you.
And do look after those wounds. I wouldn't want anything to happen to you.
Of course, Ferdinand. I appreciate your service to me. Thank you very much. Your medical expertise is not something I will overlook.
Well, it's just what I do. Don't worry too much about it. Now let's go see what the others have learned.
All right. So as you all head down the long stairway heading down into the lower levels where the House of Healing is. Um, the rest of you, of course, are greeted by the Elven Guard there and let in so that you can head directly to the House of Elrond. Is there anything anybody would like to do during this time? And that would be you, Orangeblossom.
Um, I have been riding double with Nighbird, who unfortunately was bitten by a wolf and is not feeling so well. So I will, at like the earliest opportunity, hop off the horse and let her make her way to the healing houses.
Okay. So she
Um,
very quickly will thank you, and you can see that her face is kind of pale, and then she heads towards the healing houses to meet with some of the other elven sages there that will help her get through some of these wounds that she's obtained.
Other than that, just excitedly looking for my uncle so that I
Okay.
can see a familiar face for the first time in a few days.
Elondir and Roland head off towards the Great Hall of the Elrond house, while you head over to the House of Healing, and you're immediately met standing in front of you by your uncle Ferdinand and Archeon, who feels that he's more spry looking than he did when you left, and alive.
As soon as like Uncle Ferdinand is in my line of sight, Orangeblossom just starts like running towards him. And then when she gets close enough so that she's not like yelling to disturb the people who are healing, she's like, Uncle, 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 guess what happened?
Oh, hello there, Orangeblossom. How was your first solo adventure?
Well, I got in a fight and I survived, but more importantly, I made a friend.
Oh, that's great. Wonderful.
His name's Squeak. And
Oh,
she points to the
She shows a
squirrel
small
on her
squirrel
shoulder.
up on her shoulder, and the squirrel
dear
just
Lord.
You don't
Uh,
like squirrels?
Well, no, it's just have you checked to make sure it doesn't have any diseases or...
Yes, of course. It was the first thing I did.
All right. Is she telling the truth?
give
Did
me
she actually check this
a
thing out?
Roland said it was fine.
Roland. For the most part, you can. Let me see. What would you like to roll for that?
I'll just check it out myself, kind of at a glance.
Okay.
And I'm favored in that. So healing? That sound good to you?
Yeah, you can do either healing or you could do. Yeah, healing's probably your best, unless you're going to do more like an insight to see if she's.
They're the
Getting-
same roll.
All right.
So it shouldn't matter.
Inciting me or checking over the squirrel.
Well, I've gotten an auto success on the D6 and a total of 20. And my target number is 15.
You can see that the squirrel doesn't seem to have any sort of ailment or illness.
It seems to be fine, which is most interesting. Tell me, were the animals affected with the diseases that we've seen in the others there?
Yes, not all, but we did see a few that were. There was a. Was it a hawk? Was it? It was a messenger hawk that we saw.
Yes.
Yeah, hawk. There was a hawk. There was a messenger hawk, and it definitely had the disease. That was actually really sad. And we also saw. Actually, I don't know if I should talk about that part here. Perhaps wait until we get to Elrond.
Okay. Well, just keep tabs on the creature because it'll be interesting to see if this infection is located to a geographical place and perhaps he will turn himself, or if there is something in his behavior or his demeanor that keeps him from being affected. It will be worth studying him for sure.
Yes, yes. He'll be with us to be a friend, but also an early warning system, like a canary.
Oh, yes, okay. How is he like a canary?
Well, when canaries and did you go into
Are,
mines and
are you
stuff?
talking about how they die from the gases?
Yes,
This,
I read a book once.
how does that apply to this situation at all, Orangeblossom?
Well, he would be like a canary. So if he got sick, we would know before we got sick.
Unless he just bites us and infects one of us, in which case he's more like a plague
Rabbit?
rat.
Well,
Just keep
Okay.
just keep a weather eye on him.
I will.
Maybe take
Yes.
some notes in your notebook.
I'll keep a daily log on how Squeak is doing.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. Well, here, let me see. And I'll reach in my pockets and pull out like a crust or something and hand it to the squirrel. Here you go.
Squirrel
Eat up.
takes a second before just grabs it with both hands, starts nibbling away at it.
Well, you said there was something else that we need to speak with Lord Elrond about, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, also, and I'll like lean over and whisper to her, "Hey, John's an elf."
I can hear you.
No, you
My
can't.
hearing is impressive.
No, you can't. I'm a hobbit. I'm very sneaky.
He leans all the way down because he's 6'6". I can still hear you.
Is it a secret?
Yes, it is a secret. Please keep it to yourself.
She
I would
needs to
appreciate
know in
that.
case I'm injured and someone has to take care of you medically. Everyone knows that elves are allergic to peanuts. And
It's not true.
It is, and we use peanut as a carrying oil sometimes in some of the balms that we produce. It's important.
We'll
Elves are
make
allergic
sure
to nothing.
that we.
Where'd you get your notes from?
What do you mean? I've studied in houses of healing all over Middle Earth.
I'm actually an elf. I'm not allergic to peanuts.
You don't know that. It's a well-kept secret.
Everybody,
Peanuts, and I would eat all of
please.
them right now.
Everybody, please give me a scan check as you're all arguing.
When he screamed out, "I'm an elf."
Oh, true.
Oh, I've got absolutely nothing in that.
Oh, I'm good at this.
Same, but it is favored.
Nah.
Nope. 6. Nope.
Remember, you can actually
Alright,
you can do a hope point to get an extra d6. And I think this is where we can allow our audience. You can do for 100 bits, which I've already seen somebody pop up. From now on, if you do 100 bits, you just give the name of the person, and they get a hope back. It's the hope of the people. So hope of the free people.
Hey,
The hope of the people.
I like
That's
it.
so
Hope
sweet.
of the free people.
I
Can I
have a
take a-
16, and I have two sixes, so I have 2 successes.
Oh, nice.
So out of all of you, and did you succeed, Ferdinand, or not?
No, wasn't
Okay.
even trying, really.
Yeah, well, Archon, immediately as he starts blabbering off, you catch out of the corner of your eye a patrol of 2 elven guard walking down the stairs from the House of Elrond towards you, or towards your area.
Hello there. And I take one hand and put it next to Ferdinand on his mouth and just push him. Shut up, shut up, shut up.
Hey, unhand
Good
me.
day.
What are you
Good
doing
day.
there? I bite him.
Hello.
Is everything all right?
Oh, yes, of course. We're just
I
speaking
punch him in
of
the back of the knee.
different things. I mean, he's a hobbit. I
We're
barely
just-
feel it.
We're just demonstrating the stoutness of hobbits.
I will not be detained.
We're just giving a demonstration of what would happen if the squirrel happened to speak and it would run off and start biting people. He's playing the role of the squirrel. I am playing him.
Give me a riddle, because you're definitely BSing this one.
Oh, that's not good.
You're not good at lying, I am.
Oh, I am today, Gandalf rune.
Yay!
Oh, look at that. Wait,
Ooh,
did you say
that was
that
gonna be
you're
bad.
trying to teach, you're showing a squirrel?
No, I'm giving him a demonstration of if the squirrel happened to speak and it would leap off of her shoulder and start attacking people with the virus inside of it, what would happen?
It
would
doesn't
look
have
like
the virus.
that.
What virus?
It does not have the virus, the disease.
I don't think that people are supposed to know that.
Oh, what?
Rabies.
Oh, maybe this is something you should actually speak to Lord Elrond about instead of um,
Everyone who can listen.
everybody else out here in the open. Just
Just
my personal preference on this. I believe this is probably something that you would want to keep quiet.
Your
That's right.
advice is very sound. I will definitely adhere to it.
That's right, young man. Respect your elders and keep your mouth guarded.
Hmm.
we shall make our way towards Lord Elrond swiftly.
Yes, let's go, Orangeblossom.
All right. So as the three of you, Roland and Elondir, take the Nighbird to the House of Healing, leaving Orangeblossom, Ferdinand, and Achreon to head off to Lord Elrond's house. Inside the House of Elrond, there is about a dozen or so people kind of just going about their day as you walk onto the from the south end and into the Great Hall. The Great Hall has a load of food already displayed as it's shortly before lunchtime, and knowing that there are hobbits in the area, Elrond keeps to make sure that the halls are normally always full of food. So you can either stop, get refreshments, or head on. Normally, Elrond would either be upstairs in his private quarters, which would be a little bit more difficult to access, or in one of the either the on the east porch or in the back towards the patio. Either one.
Mm. Well, it's always good to have a snack. So I suppose we could grab something and then carry on.
Of course.
Seems that's what everyone else is doing, so it doesn't hurt to blend in when you have potentially bad news.
Bad news?
You'll hear in a moment.
Oh,
News is
dear.
seldom good, young one.
Oh, and what if you inherit a great sum of money? That's good news.
Then relatives come out of the woodwork begging for it.
Oh, you're right,
Indeed.
like Lobelia. You're right. Carry on.
Who's this Lobelia?
Awful. So rude.
Yes,
Awful. Rude.
misshapen, strange creature.
One of the elves kind of stops at the Great Hall after walking through, pauses. You can see he's dressed in his ornate garb, and he's got this long, very long hair. Ears are kind of poking out the sides of it, and he says, "I believe Lord Elrond is waiting for you upstairs, actually."
Oh,
Very, very well.
Now, do understand that normally anybody other than elves would be prohibited to head to the upper levels of the house. However, he has asked utterly for anyone coming back from the from the marshes to head directly to his personal library.
All right. Well, I guess we stay here then.
Oh, um, can they come too?
It seems. Are you not all from the mission or the adventure that you were all sent on, or errand?
Well, they're aware of the mission, but they stayed behind in the healing houses to do some things, and
Yes.
I went with others out to do some other things.
Right.
Achreon here got bit on the buttocks, and he had to be treated.
Well, I
Yes,
hope you're
fine.
feeling much better. Right this way. And he kind of directs you over to the stairway that wraps up into the upper levels, into what seems to be a massive library. Books are covering all of the multiple layers of shelves. The walls are covered in books, and he takes you down three halls, um, rows of books until you get to an area where there are chairs set up, and Lord Elrond is sitting there flipping through the pages of what looks like a book that's probably older than life itself. It's just completely it's this massive tome. The paper seems to have discolored, and there's just writing all around it. He looks up, looks at you. Oh, fantastic! You're here. What did you hear of our friend in the marshes?
Well, we got Roland. He's here. Um, he went with Nighbird to the healing houses because we did encounter a bit of trouble. They're okay. They just, got bit by a wolf. But Roland's here. But we did. There was something very strange.
Strange how?
Strange. I assume I can speak freely here.
Of course.
Okay. When we got to Roland's, we all bedded down for the night, but then there was a disturbance in the middle of the night. And well, not everyone. Roland and some others went outside to investigate the sound and found a orc. And they handled the situation like you do. But it didn't bleed. And when they investigated further, it had no blood and it had a lot of boils. It seemed to have the disease, but maybe like a much further progressed version than we've seen thus far. It was freaky.
And you're positive this is the same thing you saw with the people of Bree? And
The boils.
Elrond looks straight at Ferdinand.
It's a difficult one because I didn't see it firsthand, and also we don't know how it affects different species and races. It could present in a number of ways. It is odd that it seems to be zoonotic, in that it transfers between humans and orcs, and I believe someone said wolves, perhaps, and maybe a hawk. It is most atypical. You don't hear about these sort of diseases often. That can affect so many. Usually, just one or two species at the most. Did you take any samples, Orangeblossom?
Roland brought some back.
Okay. Well, we could take those to the House of Healing and have a look and compare them to the samples that I brought from Bree, and we can compare and see if they do match up, and if so, if they. I fear that the lady who we had spoken to in Bree was on her last legs, but she was still bleeding, if I remember. It's most peculiar.
Yes.
And if it is truly, as we fear, something to do with the shadow or the enemy, um, perhaps it affects those who are more easily tainted by the darkness, more readily embrace it more profoundly than others.
Hmm.
There's some excellent insight. It seems that we
It's
need
all
to
wild
learn.
speculation, mind you. I have no clinical evidence or even anecdotal evidence to back this up, but it's possible. It's worth considering.
What you need in order to discover more.
Uh, a lot of time inside of a lab or wiser minds than mine. Um, perhaps there is someone in the healing houses who is more experienced with looking at these samples, and we could go and acquire some samples from a different geographical region or locale to see if it varies from place to place. Um, perhaps there is a more virulent strain where the orc was, as opposed to a Killia one, where the lady from in Bree. Um, there are a lot of variables here at play.
There's a new disturbance just to the west side of Rivendell towards the Trollshaws.
Hmm.
Speaking of orcs, seems to be getting out the word. However, I don't believe that this is all we will see. You mentioned that this could potentially be something that could be found on other species.
It
Orcs.
appears that that is definitely the case.
I wonder.
As we have seen humans, orcs, and wolves, as well as I believe Orangeblossom said they encountered a hawk who was also infected.
In the second age, around the time of the Rundar people, they mostly controlled the areas of the Ettenmoor and the Trollshaws. There are many ruins there and castles that have fallen to time, along with why we call them the Trollshaws, with all of the caves that the trolls created during that time. There's also information of a red flower, similar to one that we hold dear to us. Only a rumor, of course. But symbol mine is a snow white flower that normally you find during the mourning of others. However, what I would like to do is to see if there's another flower, blood red, normally found in that area and only in rumor within the caves down that way. But it's said that they can hold off some of the shadows that the enemy can produce. It would be good to have if we continue to investigate this problem.
Hmm.
I don't
In the meantime,
believe.
I've heard that King's Foil helps with that a bit as well.
We try to put them together. Something that can combine in order to hold off this plague that we're seeing starting to connect all through Eriador. You all are
Yes, we
quick and quiet, and bringing a guide with you, like Achreon, to gather more information probably be best. In the meantime, their friends can rest here and gain their strength, as I fear your adventures won't stop here anytime soon.
Yes, could you two go ahead and get some preparations made for that and have dinner? My knees, my old knees, they seem to have gotten me slowed down just a bit. Let me have a rest here for a moment with Lord Elrond, and I shall meet you two downstairs for a snack. Does that sound okay?
Of course, Ferdinand.
Certainly, Uncle.
The two of you walk out of the Great Hall. You can see Elrond watching carefully as they pass by the bookshelves and out the door and down the stairs until they're out of sight.
So, now that the young ones are gone, Lord Elrond, um, there are certain tests that are distasteful and morally questionable that might advance what we know of the disease. We need to know how it spreads and whom it can be spread to and by. I know that the creatures of the forest are sacred and dear to the elves, but a test to see if they can be infected and studied, potentially in a controlled environment, so that we might better understand how the disease progresses and what it can infect. Perhaps we can learn something. Um, and this is a dark matter, but it is something that could be useful. And I'm not trying to force your hand, but I am saying that it is something that you should consider.
Takes a moment. You're telling me that you want me to give the creatures of this world.
Very not out and about. Bring them back where they can be contained and studied. Because it's a matter of if the sacrifice of a few might save the many. And it's a question that is beyond my own wisdom to answer, but it is one that I feel I have the duty to put to those who are wiser than myself.
Roll me a wisdom check, please. So that's your d12 plus your wisdom score, which should be 1. So that's 1d6 on top of it. And that matches towards your.
And I'll spend a hope.
Okay. And that's going to be that's against your that's going to be against your wits TN.
That's 8. I have an auto success with a 6 and a 1. 14, 15. It's exactly 15 with 1 auto success. And
Okay.
that's exactly my target number.
You feel the strain of what that could mean to your own psyche, your own mental state. And for a moment there you dip into that and you can feel the pull.
So just so everyone knows, my shadow flaw is Lure of Secrets. As I took Rhymes of Lore as my feature, that comes with Lure of Secrets. as my shadow trait. So, and Elrond, this again, you and the other Council of the Wise know more than me, but I do think that I should present it as an option and as something, a course that could be taken. But I think there's something else that you deserve to know. As you, I want you to know that I'm being open and honest with you. And you may have already gained the insight, but Achreon is an elf. And I
Our
feel
people during
that,
the healing process had discovered this, but we figured that he was trying to hide it.
and he, as well he should, but you know the implications of an elf of Mirkwood being out of bounds, and as you so graciously offer your protection to those here, you deserve to know who you're protecting.
We have sent word to the Mirkwood Elves to discover the purpose of why he is here, as well as his companion.
I sense no malice in him. He seems a good sort, especially for a Mirkwood elf. You know, hobbits don't have the best track record with the Mirkwood elves. We have no particular love nor trust of them, but perhaps this is an opportunity to build bridges.
And one day, all elves work together as well as humans and dwarves. That day could quickly be returning with the sightings that we're seeing.
I agree. But I just wanted
the
to
enemy
make
is
sure that you
moving to the north faster than we expected. Our
Sure.
scouts are being taken out, and it's only time before they'll continue for south.
Lord Elrond, in the spirit of honesty and openness, perhaps it is best that someone let Achreon know that you have sent word to see his intent, and perhaps let him defend himself so that he can travel without that burden.
What would you suggest, Master?
I'm just saying that secrets can lead to grudges and wounds. If you don't expose a wound to the light now and then, it becomes infected, and when things are infected, they sour, and things get worse.
I very much
So
agree.
perhaps it's time for everyone to lay their cards on the table and be honest. And the only reason that I wanted to speak to you about this in private is young Orangeblossom is still young and full of hope and idealism, and I don't want her to understand the cruelties that healing sometimes demands.
Will you take your niece and our Mirkwood friend to the Trollshaws and dive into the caves and see if we can find this extra extract that we can use with the King's foil? And if all of that can be done safely, without harm, I will speak to our people and see what we can do as a agreement in finding out what is wrong with these creatures and what is happening. And maybe we can come down to a discovery that will prevent this from further happening.
Yes. Thank you, my lord. I just wanted you to hear all counsel. I appreciate your time. and I'll be on my way now. Hopefully we will return to you soon, sound and well.
He nods and waits for you to walk out.
Yep.
Returns back to his book. It's about 15-20 minutes before Ferdinand returns back downstairs into the great hall where the rest of you are resting, or stopped at.
Meanwhile, while that whole conversation is happening,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like getting their snacks and settling in to a spot to rest, Orangeblossom looks up to Achreon and is like, "Do you smoke? Would you like a spot of old Toby?"
Toby.
Yes. It's the finest pipe weed in the South Farthing.
I've never actually tried it before.
Never.
Never.
Well, if you do, perhaps just a tiny. Would you like some of mine? Just a little. Just a little.
Could I?
Absolutely. Here you are.
I thank you. My.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, this is actually quite delicious.
Isn't it? No,
is.
no, if it's your first time, not too much. But your snacks are going to be extra delicious now.
Are they?
Oh, yes.
Such a wonderful treat. Now, I have a question for you. How did you keep your squirrel on your shoulder like that? Is he trained already?
I don't know. Well, he was at Roland's, and
Is that the large fellow with the large
very
axe?
large. Yes, he's massive. But yes, I suppose Roland can talk to him or communicate with him in some way, and said he was very friendly, and if I was kind to him, he would be kind to me, and so I loved on him a little and fed him a bit. Now he's just like, we're best friends, and I'm not going to leave your shoulder now.
That is impressive. Wait, did you say that the large fellow could actually speak to the square?
Well, I think so. It kind of seemed that way, but also maybe I was just misinterpreting in all my excitement about cute animals everywhere. But it seemed like he could communicate with them.
It seemed like he communicated, or you.
Well, he made some animal sounds and they made animal sounds back, and he seemed to know what they were saying.
Fascinating. I've never seen anything like that outside of the forest.
It's quite. Wait, you've seen something like it before?
Well, I've seen parcel things where others would they have this thing where they start chittering, and you can almost see the words fly from their mouth. It's all magical. On the inside of the forest, elves there have this type of woodland magic, and speaking to creatures of the woods, it's a bit easier for us, I would say.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's wonderful to know. I wonder if it's something that other people can learn.
Perhaps I can teach you.
That would be amazing.
It's darling. You're just absolutely delightful.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, if you ever need any more, let me know.
Absolutely. Why, thank you again.
Of course.
During this moment, Ferdinand, you walk down the stairs and you can see them just finishing up a conversation.
Hello.
Karn straightens up to his full height. Hello there, Ferdinand.
Hello.
Uncle.
Hello.
How are your knees? Your knees feeling better?
Yes, much better now.
Oh, good.
It's the change in weather. Sometimes it just makes them ache a bit, but it's all right.
We are a bit.
Assistance. Do I have to carry you?
No, I'll be quite okay. Thank you.
All right.
I have a few remedies and salves tucked away for just such a thing.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if it has to do with the altitude. We're a bit higher here.
Could be. It very well could be.
I'm
worried it has a bit more to do with the altitude of my age, though. It goes up all the time, you see.
Something to look forward to, then.
Yes.
What exactly does it have to do with your age, I wonder?
Are you serious? Do you not understand basic physiology?
Oh, how old are you exactly?
I've lost track now, I'm afraid. I don't keep track of that sort of thing anymore.
Well,
Hmm.
let's see. Hmm.
Well, I've
Well,
seen
you're
others that are millennia old, and they are perfectly fine. I've seen
Holy
them actually
shit.
in battle.
If you're going to keep up this whole nay, elf nay thing, you really should read a book.
I've read several.
I mean, are you not aware of mortals? Is that not something that they cover in elf education now?
Archery, athletics, magic. Mortals don't really
You
come
can
up
do
that
magic?
often.
What magic can you do?
magic?
Well,
What paying much attention in that one either, were you?
it usually only works at night and within a forest.
Ah,
Oh.
I see. Well, quite useful. But it's okay. People age and things change. And do you know how babies are born? I don't know how much you don't know.
I mean, of course, when a mother and father get together and they have relations,
Okay.
an offspring occurs.
All right.
Occurs.
So I'm sorry. I have no frame of reference of what you want from me. Mortals get older. You should probably like. Did you came here pretending to be immortal and you didn't read about mortals?
I've tried to take all I can learn from Nighbird, and she has been tutoring me in what exists
I
on the
don't know who
outside of
that
the
is.
forest. The
Nighbird's
individual I think with the
with the
fiery
really
hair.
with the really red hair.
Oh, I didn't see her last time. She was in the infirmary last time.
She's pretty
When we
great.
first came here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. No. Here I've got a book somewhere. I'm sure, and I'll like pull out of reach into my bags and see if I have like some sort of pamphlet or something just on. I don't know,
The
like
glory of aging.
Babby's first guide to mortality or
Oh
something.
goodness. Give me a riddle check because I just feel that Uncle Ferdinand might be carrying just these things just out of spite and
Spite.
giggles.
Holy shit, my eyes are bad. 17. So that's enough.
Are you trying to play Uncle Ferdinand perfectly? Is that what this is?
Yes. Yes. Here's a short medical treatise on common human ailments that I keep on hand. I don't see a lot of humans, but see them from time to time. So I keep this to brush up, and I'll toss it to him.
Just catches it. Thank you,
There you
Ferdinand.
go.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yes, anytime.
You look at it. It's a plain old book of stories.
Aesop's fables.
This should be most useful. I appreciate it.
It's called An Apple a Day Keeps the Healer Away.
It's a good book, full of pictures.
Yep. I don't know what if he doesn't know that people get older. I don't know what languages he reads either. So it's just a lot of pictures.
Fair.
There you go. That should help a bit. When you've finished that one, let me know and we'll move on to something a bit more advanced.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Most welcome. Now, is everyone ready? Have we made preparations? Do we need to go do that now? You've not made any preparations, have you?
We got snacks.
Okay. Well, that's a preparation, making sure that you should never start a task that you aren't on a full stomach. So that
Yes.
is a preparation. But now we should go see to our horses and supplies and just making sure that we have things that are useful. Make sure your weapons are sharp, plenty of arrows, and we will hit the road, as they say.
Gathering things in the House of Elrond is very simple. You go from one building to the next after you head out, getting your things under the influence of Elrond himself, giving you that opportunity to do so without really having to spend anything additional. Your get all your arrows for the trip. Your blades are sharpened. Anything you've asked for simple goods are presented to you as long as nothing is too much of a difficulty.
Snacks.
Each of you is given, of course, some lamnas bread as well as assortment of other food that only outside of the halls are mostly used.
That's all Outpack is land spread.
Okay.
Living not amongst the hobbits has tamed my appetite a little, and it's much better to have more food than less.
Correct.
Can't relate.
You can see though that the flavor and consistency of lamnas bread is not great. It's not bad.
It does give you lots of energy though.
But it gives you a ton of energy, and it takes very little to make you feel like you are full.
The Cliff Bars of Middle Earth.
Pretty much.
All right. Well, it seems that everything is just about packed. Eshan, lead the way, please.
Of course. But before we leave, may I just stop by and check on Nighbird, if you don't mind?
Oh, please do, yes.
Of course.
Thank you. And I just want to venture up and just see how she's doing and see if there are the updates on her.
You can see that when you go upstairs in the House of Healing, you can see that there are multiple rooms. One of the elves there at the door at the entranceway kind of presents and directs you to where you need to go. You're taken to a small room where she's just recuperating. It seems that a salve has been placed on the wounds, and she is resting quietly in a bed.
So I just kind of like pat her on the head. Rest easy, Fire Twin. I will return to you. And then I look over at the Hound. Take care of her. And don't sneak off into the snacks. I know you. And then I leave and go back.
Gives you a grunt. It just kind of like stands up, goes closer to the bed, does the circle thing, and then right back down. And then places the
don't eat the snacks.
Paws out, and then slumps his face on it, and you can see the droopy jaws just kind of droop over it.
And I leave and head back to them.
All right. Meeting the other two down towards the gate at the entrance of the House of Elrond. Two guards are standing there. They greet you, wish you farewell, and you head out into the hidden pass until you get to the top of the mountainside. From there, you venture down the road. Just after you pass over the fords of Brunnen, the small river that you know seems to have a connection with Rivendell, as that's where the waterfalls pour into, and then the ford goes and then it goes south. You pass by a small area where the stream is thin, and onto the road into what seems to be known to many as the Trollshaws. And this brutally time-driven area almost seems to just hide itself. The woodlands have taken over most of what seems to be broken down keeps, fortresses, and towers. And not soon after you arrive at the entrance to the Trollshaw area, you start to notice these massive gouges in the earth. For anybody interested, you can give me a lore check if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the Trollshaws.
I can do that.
I'm gonna try just for giggles.
Just for
'Cause
giggles.
I have no pips in that.
Okay.
22 with a success, an auto success. I rolled a 6, a 5, and an 11.
Okay.
I rolled a 16. I beat my my wits, which is a 14.
All right.
Too
So
young,
for
no idea.
Sharon, you notice that there is a. This seems to be known for the reason why it's called the Trollshaws. It seems at one point the trolls headed south from the Ettenmoor and have kind of placed themselves as denizens here after the wars that took during the Second Age. Now, Ferdinand, with your success and much higher connection to the lore here, and years of studying at Rivendell, you noticed that most of these ruins all claim as one of the three kingdoms that was taken before or was destroyed over during the War of Angmar, and there is just a sense of darkness and dread that just lingers around every tree branch.
Be careful, fellows. It's a dangerous place, but there are. It leaves only opportunities to make things better. Yes.
Of course.
Absolutely.
All right. Very well. Just keep your eyes peeled, and all will be well. Very good, Orangeblossom.
About as you all start to venture into the wooded area, you come over a hillside and you can see where the mix between old and new are, as a ring of stone pillars and stone slabs sit in the ground and have been taken over by the moss. You see where doorways should be into what looks like a broken down tower that rested once on the hill in order to keep watch. As you come in close, Asharn and Ferdinand walking very carefully. Orangeblossom, you feel something against your foot and then immediately drop, sliding down what seems to be a hole. And you feel the mud catching against your back as you slip and slide until you come to a point and slam into the edge of what seems to be a hidden cavern. Darkness is all around you.
Do we see where she went?
You look back and you can see about a 5 foot by 5 foot hole that has just plummeted inward.
I'll grab my bow and jump in.
Yeah, I immediately jump off of my horse and just I look in the hole and dive.
Okay. As you both dive in, you immediately are caught by what seems to be a thick set of mud as you slide down this steep hole until you also as you all three hit the ground and you can hear each of you thud slightly as you hit the edge of a deep tunnel.
Can I light my windproof lantern?
You can.
Try and see.
Oh, very good preparedness.
Thanks. Never know when you might need a bit of light.
It's true.
First thing you see is this cavern looks to be carved out in symmetrical shaping. Not something natural, but somebody has been here at one point. A large boulder sits in the between, in front of you, kind of as a pillar, and you can see it connecting to the top and bottom. Four wooden pillars are also placed around it, and you can see one of them has been slightly cracked, and a table that has not been seen sees just nothing but dust and uh, starting to rot as is sitting resting on the southern side of this rock.
Hmm. Are there any kind of markings or anything down here, or is it just like rough hewn walls and the rotting table and pillars?
Give me a skin check.
I think that's oh, it's favored at least.
Scan the area and see what you can see.
I got a 12.
Is that a good or a bad?
It's the Gandalf rune.
It's a success. There we go.
Sorry.
And then
I don't have any pips.
okay. Well, you did succeed then, with the auto success, and you look around and you can see, for the most part, this place is pretty bare. But you notice to the right of you, metal, almost like flickering off the light. As you shine over, you can see what looks like a track that leads deeper into the cave system, and you can see mining equipment laying next to it.
A mine?
Interesting. Hmm. Are there any known mining like um, camps in this area that I would have heard of?
This is one of the most unexplored areas of the time frame because of the nervousness of trolls.
Hmm.
You wouldn't have known of a mining camp of either men nor elves that were planning to venture down this way. And everything looks like it's old.
So we're talking like an inch of dust on this table, like old.
Yes, like an inch of moss on the table. Thick
I don't
layer.
think anyone's been here for quite some time.
Yes, quite.
Who just abandons a mine with no word of warning?
You continue down the tracks, or
Sure.
so
I'll take the lead. I'll get in front of them.
as you head down the tracks for about 15 feet or so before the actual mine, or the cave walls itself, kind of close in very tightly, where it's just the tracks are brushing through, and this leads you about 40 feet down before it opens up again into a large, almost like wraparound area. Following the mines farther down, you can see, flashing your light back and forth, the shadows connecting off of the walls themselves, and you can see an opening heading to the northern portion of it past the, or you can keep going, and as you flicker your light, you can see there's an opening in front of you, and it kind of flickers to the right, or you can go to the left and go down an entirely different hallway or mine shaft way.
Well, I suggest that we immediately proceed stealthily, just because you never know what you might run into in a place like this.
Indeed,
about-
your counsel is quite wise. In your years, have you seen any habits of these people and know where we might lead off to next?
I can do. Um, I don't think so. Do you want me to give you a lore check or anything for that, James? I'm not sure that would be something I know.
You can. I would say if it's something you don't believe you would know, though, please roll it at ill favor.
Okay. So I'm favored, but ill favored cancels that out.
Okay.
13 will not do it. No, I'm afraid that I'm not familiar, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Well,
If I'd spent a bit more time researching these sorts of things and less time researching medicine, I might have more information for you, but unfortunately that's not the case.
Excellent. Well then, I believe the choice is yours, my dear. Since you were the one to find this area, you should be the one to decide where we off to next.
so just for my mental image,
Mm-hmm.
right? Does either one of the pathways seem to have like fresher air, like it might lead up and out, or do they both feel kind of the same?
Give me. Give me an explore check. Let's see how you fend on understanding.
Nope.
Nope.
Happens to the best of us, Orangeblossom. Fret not.
You are definitely wet behind the ears. You don't really know too much on, and on top of it, you're still kind of in a daze after sliding down a
Yeah.
muddy slip and slide, still covered
The
in somewhat
adrenaline is
gunked
still
mud.
like
Yes.
well, I can't be certain as these are my first adventures and I've never been in a mine, but something in my heart is telling me to go right.
All right. Well, that's as good a reason as any.
All right, we'll take your word. And I start heading off right.
So you continue down the mine shaft, then following the mine cart, or
Yes.
the trek.
Mhm.
All right. Heading into this next room that opens up, you notice barrels and boxes. As you flash, you can see stacked 3, 4 high. Um, you notice other utensil or other equipment such as shovels, mining picks, just laid strewn across the ground.
And no signs of use.
No signs of use.
Rapidly abandoned, it seems.
Indeed.
I what
Keep investigating
So-
that area or keep going down the tracks.
I'd like to take a little bit closer look, I think.
Yeah, is that a scan check?
Yes. You can do scan, you can do travel,
Nope.
explore.
Nothing doing here.
Nothing there.
That's a 16 and it's a Gandalf room.
All right. Stepping around a set of boxes, Asharn, you immediately catch glimpse to a body laying against the back wall of this area, kind of slumped over, and you can see the feet are outward almost as if it was sitting against the wall, but it's leaning kind of to the side.
I silently just tap Ferdinand and pull out my dagger and point towards the body.
And immediately as you do, you watch Orangeblossom move the lantern out of the way and vanishes for a moment. Like you can't see it now because of the lighting.
What? I'll just over there. Okay.
Tap Orangeblossom.
Yeah, she swings it back, and you can see now the body laying there. Um, and as it does, the light catches the body, and you can see it's just skull, bone, and what seems to be leather, maybe chain armor, as glints of it are catching the lighting.
I will knock an arrow and shoot it in the forehead.
Okay. Immediately, the head knocks on the ground, like just falls on the ground.
You said they were moving around without blood, or they were dead. I just wanted to make sure.
Well, that one was an orc.
I don't know what this plague does, but it can do
True.
weird things.
Yeah,
So it's better to be
fair.
cautious.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'll go over and I'll start searching through his pockets and kind of looking at his overall like state and see if I can figure out like what may have killed him, or like if there's any cuts on his rib cage that might indicate that there was like a stab wound or.
You get closer, and you can see the entire chest. There's 3 gash marks that go straight across um, the body, dug in probably about a half an inch deep from one side to the other.
Hmm.
Am I aware of any creature that could do something like that?
Just it would have to be a big creature.
Nothing useful on this guy's person.
Uh, Not unless you want to actually like pull off go through pockets, that kind of thing.
Yes, I will go through his pockets.
All right.
Maybe there's a journal outlining everything.
There might be some notes or something like that.
So there is one note that you pull out. It seems to be inside. As you pull off the chain that's kind of drooped over top of his or underneath his tunic or his leather that he is on, you can see now that there is a small parchment rolled up kind of in a pocket, and you pull it out, and it almost at first when you start to pull it apart, it almost starts to like dissolve and tear and rip. But you, being a man of healing and a man of lore, you slowly unravel it. And it says, mining day 42, found 600 grams of iron, found 40 grams of cobalt, and found uh, 10 grams of uh, he has kind of like dot 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 after it.
Did you say whether there was like a mining cart or anything here?
Card or cart?
Cart.
No, you didn't see a cart. You just saw the tracks.
Unsure of whether. Unsure of whether he just didn't finish his journal entry or if something prevented him or kept him from writing what he'd actually found.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh well.
Everybody give me an awareness, please.
Mm-mm.
Hey, that's favorite. I got double Gandalfs.
Wow.
Nice. Because I have an auto success, but I don't make the number, which means I fail, right? Or do I still succeed?
Did you auto success with the Gandalf, or did you?
No, just a d6.
No, then that's a
Uh,
fail.
no, I fail.
Yeah.
I also fail.
The D6 is only a benefit if you pass the succeed
Degrees of
the
success.
degrees of success. Um, you watch as the two of you are kind of going back and forth discussing. Asharn, you immediately feel a tremble in like the underneath your feet. And
I,
the two of you don't notice it, but you watch as her lantern just kind of does this, and you can see the shaking. But but feeling those two together, you notice that it's probably not her doing it.
so I tap both of them on the shoulder and I start crouching. Something. You feel the ground beneath you.
No. And I'll try to hide behind some rocks or something.
Right. As you dip behind rocks, you hear an Orangeblossom. You hear coming down the tunnelway, scraping against the stone itself, just like nails on a chalkboard. And are you keeping any light on, or are you completely going out at this point?
Well, initially I had shielded it so it wasn't so bright, like
Right.
didn't travel as far. I would look towards the others once I hear the scraping and just like all the way out and hide.
Okay. You hear the scraping continue, getting closer and closer. The ground shakes. You all take a breath and wait, as nobody can see what's happening. You do.
Keep waiting.
What's that?
I'll keep waiting.
Me too.
Okay.
Can I not see in the dark? Can elves see in the dark?
I don't believe Tolkien elves can see in the dark. I think that's a D&D thing only.
Well,
They can see in
I will do a Googles.
somewhat darkness, but I don't believe they can actually see in utter darkness inside of a
Mirkwood
cave.
elves are used to seeing in darkness. I know.
Correct.
Um,
But I think you would have to have some sort of light,
yeah, or like
like
pitch black. I don't know
moonlight,
about that.
stars, something. This is pitch black. You can't even see your hand in front of your face at this point.
Elf eyes see a
They
great
do-
many things, but
They do have a great. I had forgotten about this, but they do have great vision in the darkness. Um, it's not true night vision,
Right.
but if you think about it, they lived in night, in like
Mhm.
perpetual night for like millennia
millennia.
in
Right.
the before time. But that may not have been like Ajarn obviously wasn't there, but his
No, but
descendants are
genetics
very
are a
used,
thing.
very
Correct.
used to living in the darkness because there was no sun for a long time in Middle Earth. So
Right.
good night vision, but not like magic night vision.
Mhm.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, if you were outside at night, it's easy for you. You pretty much can see without an issue as long as you have a glimpse of light. But you are in utter darkness,
Pitch black.
pitch black.
Is this nighttime or are we in the forest?
We're in a hole.
You're in a hole.
We're in the hole in the ground, and
You
not
dove-
the good kind.
Is it at night?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of feel across the ground and try to move to a wall and see if I can find keep touching the wall and see if I can find like a crevice somewhere. But I still have like a hand on Orangeblossom to try to take her with me and see if I can find a crevice to like put her in and like hide her.
Roll me either a scan or explore check.
$13, it does not pass.
At first, you come to a point where you're like feeling around in the darkness, feeling the ground, and then you brush up against something that doesn't feel natural. This leathery, very tough skin like material. And you hear as something breathes, and you can feel the hair push against your face.
I slowly crouch and I push Orangeblossom away.
At that point, I would need you all to. At this point, we would go into combat.
So actually, hobbits can
Yep.
see better in the dark than dwarves, even.
Wow.
Huh.
What?
Because there's even a part in the Hobbit where Bilbo's like, "What the fuck is that?" And the dwarves are like, "What are you talking about?"
What are you talking
And
about?
he's
You're
like,
right.
"There." And Gandalf goes, "Oh, hobbits can see better than dwarves."
You're right. That's a fact.
Yeah. Because once again, hobbits are actually demigods who have bullshit powers that are convenient.
Well, for our choice, or for our evening, however, we're going to play that this is so it is extremely
Yeah.
dark, because you guys are literally in the mine. There's no light.
Yeah. I just went down a rabbit hole looking that up.
Hey, you're fine.
Like you do.
It's good learning.
Okay.
As you look, you feel now the saliva splash against your face, Asharn, and the creature that you hear the snarling as you all have just woken up a full-size mountain troll.
Oh no.
Son of a
Oh no. Run outside.
bitch.
Run.
So as we head into combat, thankfully, I will say actually no, because this would be an ambush because of the actually no, it wouldn't, because you guys kind of caught him at this point. So this would be where you would be able to immediately alert the party and decide your steps from there. So for our friends that are just tuning in, this is our combat card. So combat works a little differently in the One Ring RPG. There are 4 different stances that each one of them will pick, and you can shift the stance at the beginning of the round, or stay at the stance you're at. So what we'll do first is we'll go through. Does anybody want to go forward stance?
Mm-mm.
Not really. What's your
Okay.
parry? If somebody has to go forward.
I thought you said be in one of the 3 spots.
I think at least one person has to be engaged in forward. I
One
think it's
person,
like
I believe one person has to be engaged in close combat.
yeah.
And close combat is the first 3 spots, right?
The first 3
Forward,
spots
the
are
middle,
close
and the
combat.
defense. Okay.
Yeah. So you've got forward, open, and defensive.
What's your parry? What's everybody's parry?
I got a 20, so I'll take the neutral one that's right between the forward and the defensive.
Open.
Yeah, I'll take the open. I'm designed for range combat, but I'll take the
I'm
open.
the same way. I have 3 pips in bows.
Yeah, me too. And I have prepared shot as a secondary attack.
Orangeblossom just draws her sword. All right. No.
Stabbing toes.
Yep. Right in the ankle.
Over the Achilles.
All right. So while he is in darkness, who's going for open?
I'll be in open.
Okay. So you're gonna go. So you attack.
I will attack.
All right. See what happens.
All right. Daggers. That's a 15, and that beats my TN. But what's his parry? Plus,
Yes. So his parry is. They don't have a parry.
oh well, then I
big.
beat my strength, which is a 14,
Fantastic.
and that was with the dagger. It's 2 damage.
Okay. And did you receive it? Did you get any?
I got nothing special.
Nothing special. All right.
Mm-mm.
2 damage.
So I kind of just take out my 2 daggers. After I pushed Orangeblossom back, I immediately take out my dagger and just give it a quick upper slash.
You hear the thing tear through. You could see now it's trying to find you very easily. It's going to understand where you're at. And then our defensive people, or is somebody stepping back and going rearward?
I'm going rearward.
Okay.
I'm trying to. Sorry, I mix up what all of them do really bad.
So open is one extra, or open is neither advantage nor disadvantage. Forward gives you an extra d6, but also close hand combat it gives an extra d6. And defensive removes, you lose a d6, but they also lose a d6 when they're attacking you.
Okay, I will take defensive then and try to like back up Achreon. And I have a question on if I can do something though before or instead of attacking.
Okay.
I would like to scoot a little away and reopen the lantern to shed light in this space and then scoot back next to Achreon. So it's like I'm trying to like disorient it for a moment because suddenly there's light.
Right. I will say second on that. So with that, you notice that the creature immediately turns his eyes away and swings wildly, kind of swooping back and forth, trying to get rid of the light. It is going to take 1 to its hate for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then this one's going to. He's going to swing. So we're going to do. Since you step back, the immediate is going to be he's going to attack Asharn. So let's see what happens. 3d6.
That's a lot of D6.
That is a lot of D6.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
Run.
8, 9, 19.
Does
That's
not
not
hit.
enough. Yeah.
It's not enough still?
Nope.
All right.
He has a 20.
Look at you.
Ducks.
The disorientation happens. He slams past you, hits the wall behind you. Ferdinand, you're up.
So rearward, does that give me anything extra?
Rearward, I don't believe.
Just lets me use ranged.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can only be attacked. You can only attack with and be targeted by ranged weapons.
Okay. And I have permanent favorite on ranged because I took sure at the mark as my virtue.
Okay.
That's a Gandalf rune on my
Let's
thing.
go.
On your
and
12?
holy shit, 2 6s. So that's a total of 18, 24, 28.
That
And
definitely.
I pierce on 9s up as well.
Okay.
Go on, Crypto.
Yes.
Okay, so I know that I can spend my successes to do extra stuff.
Mhm.
So take me through that. What can I do with that?
Okay. So
That
that's what
heavy
I'm,
damage.
that's what I'm trying to pull up right now. So
Take
we
his
can walk
eye.
through that.
Take his eye.
Take his eye. Jesus.
Can't chase us if we can't see.
Holy shit, that was a great roll. I was like, what if I roll a Gandalf rune? And then it just
Right?
happened.
You put it out in the universe, instant manifestation.
Right.
And then also was
True.
rewarded with the 2 6s. I was so excited about the Gandalf rune that I didn't notice the 2 6s.
All right. So, if you're going to use Pierce as to trigger one of the special results, you're
So
going
I
to
get
add.
pierce on anything 9 or above on my D12 because I have a keen bow.
Yeah, it does a piercing blow.
Without having to spend a success.
Mm-hmm. Success,
Okay.
you can do like a heavy blow. You can add pierce, which adds to your die roll, but you already pierced with your die roll, so you
Right.
can't do that.
So we'll take heavy blow.
Characters hit by
Okay.
piercing blow must immediately roll a feat die plus a number of success die equal to the protection value of the armor worn. Okay, if the roll fails, then the target receives a life-threatening blow.
And they have
So-
to. Does he have to beat what I rolled?
No, he's got to beat his.
It's got to be your injury rating.
Yeah,
My
he's gotta
injury
beat his-
rating is
For a
14.
bow, it should be a 14. Yeah.
So he's got to beat his roll though.
Well, he's got to beat my injury.
He's got to beat his
with
that
his.
injury rating with his his protection roll has to beat his injury rating, or else he gets injured.
Right, but it's all his stuff. It's not Ferdinand's stuff.
No, it's based off of my bow's injury
Injury
threshold,
rating.
which is
Mhm.
14.
Because this says because his armor rating is 14.
That's his parry,
Mhm.
Okay.
which since I beat his parry, so he just has to roll a feat die, which is a D12 plus whatever his protection rolls are,
Plus whatever
and beat a
protection roll.
14.
Okay. So he gets. So he's 3 armor. So he's 3 die for armor. And he's got to beat a 14.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's 15 right there, plus the d6. So yeah, he beats that. So he's
Okay.
just gonna take it in endurance. So
And it's a heavy blow, which how much extra damage is that?
that's plus
Your
your
strength, right? Your strength takes equal amount to your strength rating,
Correct.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And my strength rating is 4.
Okay. So
So he's
altogether then
taking 7.
7 points.
Yep.
Okay. All right. And reminders that one person does have an extra hope.
Oh yeah, Alan, I
So,
can't take heavy
thank you.
twice, can I?
Oh, you keep spending. You can spend your
Yeah,
success,
you can.
the 6 die the D6.
So I could spend it on a double heavy blow.
Yeah, so you would just add
Yeah,
another.
so add another 4 to that, so that's 11 total.
Okay.
We may not be instantly screwed, guys.
You watch as you and you hit what seems to be a part of the troll's shoulder right between where the bones would connect, and you hear this just this completely life-threatening yell come from the creature as he's thrashing back and forth.
Is blood coming out?
It is.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, good.
You can
We
see
didn't
it.
need to deal with
You
the
can
zombie
see it
mountain.
pouring down. You can see it actually
Okay.
pouring down the troll's arm.
Okay, so he really didn't like that.
He did not like that.
Okay. I didn't know if this thing had like 180 endurance or something, and we were just like Omega screwed.
No, I mean he's got endurance, but he doesn't have that kind of endurance.
Man, how jealous are the others going to be if we survive this? We killed an orc. We killed a friggin' mountain troll.
A mountain troll. What?
Cave troll.
All right.
But yeah, cave troll.
Cave troll.
Cave troll.
Yeah, cave troll.
We're gonna play it up though. It's gonna be a
Oh yeah,
mountain
it's
troll.
a
like
mountain
Telegram.
troll.
It's a mountain troll.
It's 3 mountain trolls.
It's 3.
Very
Took
well
them all
done.
on.
Hold the line, everyone.
All right. And then anybody switching, or are we continuing the same phase?
Yeah, I'm staying up in front because I want to protect them in the back.
Yeah, I would have died if he had rolled a 19 on me. So.
I'm gonna
Shard?
stay in the defensive.
I'm still in open.
Okay, you get to go for. You get to go next.
Alright. I will slash at it one more time with my dagger.
Go for it, man.
That is a 10 on the die. That is a 16 total.
Okay, and that hits his.
So- That is a piercing blow. Yeah, 'cause 10.
Yep.
And my rating for this dagger is a 14.
Okay.
So it's like super lucky if you get a life-threatening wound.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a 9.
Ooh,
Oh,
he in trouble.
So
What did he roll?
he rolled a 3 on the D12, a 1, 3, and a 2.
Oh,
So what I'm hearing is
bad news.
Akarn's a beast.
he's in trouble.
Yeah. So Asharn shoots him and catches just underneath the jugular, and you watch as this. Now,
Is he?
a reminder to some people who have never played this game: there are some creatures out there who need multiple wounds in order to drop. The cave troll is one of those. It's gonna give you,
That's fine.
it's a cave troll, and y'all aren't running from it. So I mean, more power to
Just
you.
crazy.
We got it. We're basically gods.
Yeah,
apparently.
it's fine.
Yeah, that's
It's
pretty
because
much
I
it.
don't understand the game. But sooner or later, I'm gonna figure this whole thing out, and we're gonna have a lot more fun. But
I'm gonna put on my Myar hat.
Yeah, there you go.
Your Myar
Good luck. Let me just.
all
Just
right,
fine.
so
Luscious locks.
Orangeblossom with your defense.
Yes, I am. Once I got back from setting up the lantern, I pulled out my short sword, and I'm going to try and assist my friend here. But I know since I'm defensive, I lose
You lose 1d6. Yes.
1d6.
You got this. Just roll a Gandalf rune.
Yeah, that's why I just gotta. That's it.
Man, what a terrible party we decided to bring.
I did not roll a Gandalf rune, so it's only an 11. I don't think that does.
Nope, it
at all.
doesn't do anything.
I try to look intimidating, but it doesn't work.
All right. Do you still have your lantern out though?
Yes, but it's
Okay.
not. I'm not holding it. It's away from me still.
Just set it down.
Yeah,
You
I
set it
sat it
down?
down like
Okay.
away from me.
All right.
Which could have been
The
stupid, but
troll is going to now step up and swing again. Oh wait, hold on. I did something wrong last time. Does a 20 hit?
Statistically, it shouldn't hit you.
Does a 20 hit?
Yeah, that means.
All right.
does
And he has 2 Gandalf root.
Oh!
Or not the 6s.
Oh no,
That's still bad.
Yeah, it's
that's bad.
that's real bad.
Maybe we should run.
Nah, he's probably almost dead.
He's gonna do a heavy blow with 2 of those.
Oh no.
Actually, let me see. Can I add 2?
So my being in
Yeah, 'cause I
defensive
can't
doesn't
add it.
affect that at all, does it?
What is it?
No, it only protects you.
It only protects me. It doesn't
Right.
Yeah.
protect my companion. Okay,
Correct.
okay.
Unless you do your special task. That's
Yeah,
part
you
of
would have had to as
stance.
your for your stance as defensive, or for protect companion. You could have rolled a battle.
How do I do that?
You just say you're going to do it.
Yeah, it's just one of the. It's the type of combat task that you can do as in a defensive stance.
I said I was backing up my bestie.
Hey.
But you swung is the difference.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah.
see. So instead of taking attack, it would be defend.
That's good to know.
Correct.
Mhm.
That is good. Okay, I misunderstood how that worked. Got it.
He's
Learning.
going to activate Seize. Let me make sure I figure out that one.
That sounds even worse.
That sounds awful.
What's Seize do?
Excuse me.
I don't like this.
Nope. Mm-mm.
See it?
Maybe we do run.
No.
Yeah, but
Like
if he's going to
legit.
grab him, then if we run, we're just leaving Achreon to die.
Mm, not doing that.
He sees it. I know I saw it. No, I might get lucky because I don't think I'm gonna find it fast enough. All right, y'all are lucky today because I can't seem to find things that I want to find. Holds on to the target. The victim can only fight in a forward stance, making brawling attacks. Seized heroes can flee themselves, spending 1 from their success roll. All right, so
So we're here at least one more round.
Yes,
Mhm.
and you are also going to take an endurance, because he can't get high enough on his attack to make it a wound, because he only rolled a 2 for his actual. Actually, no, I rolled a 4, but 6, 8. Nope, still not enough. So instead, he's going to do 2 heavy blows, or he's going to seize and do a heavy blow rather, and that is going to be 12 points of endurance.
Huh?
How much endurance do you have?
24.
Oh,
And you
Oh.
watch as the cave troll swings, grabs him with his massive arms, and slams him against the ground. You watch Asharin just. And he's now holding him, kind of getting ready to do it again.
I'm going to
Rearward.
spend a hope
Okay?
to do it because it's ranged right now.
Yes.
So I'm going to spend a hope.
To get
So I
an
get
extra D6.
4 dice.
Yep.
4d6s, and we're just going to see if we can get all of the heavy blows.
All right.
We got a lot of them.
Let's go.
That's 2 6s and a 10 on my feet die, so that is another piercing blow.
Another piercing blow.
Hey.
And that's a total of 12, 17, 30.
Wow.
Listen,
30
Uncle took
30 endurance or 30 altogether?
30 altogether, and I'm going to
okay.
spend it both of those as a heavy blow, so he's going to take another 11 endurance damage.
Okay, but
And
since
he
you
has-
did roll the 10, I have to roll the
Yes, an injury roll.
Injury roll.
injury roll. Well, it's a 10 on my Gandalf, or on the 20, 13, 19, 25.
Yep. He saved it.
All right, but he took another 11 points.
Another 11 points.
All right.
how dare he say
How's he
it.
looking?
Yeah, what?
He's kind of like he's taking it and just kind of just, I wouldn't say shrugging it off, but he's holding his own.
Okay.
All right. So at this point, the only way you can attack Asharn is if you go forward, which will give you that extra die. However, it also is going to allow for them to use an extra die.
Okay.
So the attacker holding onto the target, the victim can only fight in the forward stance, making brawling attacks. Seized heroes can free themselves using an extra die. So let me see what, since we're stepping into a new world of this game, let's see what brawling attack means. Nope. Nope. Adventurers who must leave behind their trusted weapons may find themselves forced to fight unarmed or to rely on a simple dagger or even a thrown stone. When this happens, they rely on the martial training to save themselves. Heroes perform an attack while unarmed or use a dagger, club, or improvised weapon, roll a number of die equal to their highest combat proficiency, but suffer a disadvantage. They lose 1d, 1 die. So whatever your highest combat proficiency is,
but then I also add a die since I'm in forward, right?
which that makes no sense. I think what it is you have to be forward because you're seized. So it's not you get the ability of forward, you just have to be forward, which means the creature gets an extra 1 for every time.
Okay.
Because he's a hold of you. You actually take 1 less because you're brawling. But if you succeed, if you get a D6, if you get a 6 on your die, you can use that to break away from the seize.
So is that just a breaking away roll, or is it an attack roll that I can
It's
break
an
away
attack
with?
roll where you could break away.
Okay, I'm going to use a point of hope.
Okay. Remember, you guys need to track your points of hope. They don't come back right away. So
Add a die roll. And then that's a 10 on the feet die. And 1 success. So that's 10. 21.
that definitely hits.
And it's a 10 on the feet die, which is a piercing blow.
Correct.
And I have 1 success, which I'm going to add to be a heavy blow.
Okay, you're not going to use
take
it
his
to
eye.
break off?
Or if I break off, I'm still right there, right? It's
I mean, you're
still
always.
within my
I mean, you're still
vicinity.
within close range, but you won't take the minus die for the next for the roll, and you won't take him at a. Um, it would pretty much negate the forward ability, so you go back to being open. So he
Okay, I'll
wouldn't.
do that.
Okay. All right. And for that piercing blow, if you can roll me a. Actually, no, I have to roll that. Let's see here. Oh, 1 second. Okay, yeah. $17, and he only needs a 14 for.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, nope. He succeeds that. Um, all right, and he's gonna. You said you're gonna do it. And how much damage is that? Is your dagger?
2.
2.
Not the boy, Sean.
All right.
Yes.
We're in trouble, guys.
We're in trouble.
Big trouble.
Orangeblossom.
Uh, okay. I kind of want to grab the lantern again, but I also want to defend Acorn until we're like all ready to run. So
Okay.
I guess that means I don't get an attack, but I'm defending.
Defend ally.
Defend ally.
Yeah.
So you're activating your protect companion.
Yes. Which I don't know what that does.
That's a battle roll.
It is.
Oh dear Lord, are we good at battle?
Hope so.
I don't know. I don't know what this means. No, we're not.
Oh, good.
Oh, perfect.
Ooh. So a player assuming a defensive stance may choose to protect another hero fighting in a close combat range. To do so, the actor makes a battle roll as a main action on the round. On a success, the next attack aimed at the protected hero loses 1d6 plus another d6 for each successes on the die.
Listen, dog. Just spend a hope point and roll a token. Roll a Gandalf.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Just
Just
spend a
roll a
hope
Gandalf
point.
rune. It's
Do
gonna
We're
be
that.
gonna
fine.
try. We're gonna
It's gonna
try.
be fine. Get
Okay.
fucked, James.
Send me some of your juju, please. I need some.
Hey! Give me
You got a 6?
Gandalf rune. And it's on the D12. It's a Gandalf rune. And
Let's go.
You already had the d12 for the Gandalf rune?
what? Yeah,
No matter
Oh.
what.
yeah. For a battle roll, the
Nice.
skill thing.
Well,
So
remember the
it's a
hope.
feat roll.
Remember the hope doesn't re-roll. The hope does the d6 add.
Yeah, I
So
don't
you
have
didn't-
any pips.
Oh,
So I used a hope so that I could have the D12 and a D6.
Yeah.
but you
I
already had
rolled
the
a Gandalf
d12,
rune.
right?
You
Yeah.
get a D12 even if you have no pips.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
you
I
rolled
rolled
the
the
Ga-
D12.
but
and
you
it's
rolled
Gandalf.
the Gandalf rune for the d12,
Yes.
so you succeeded automatically.
Yes.
Okay,
But you have
And-
to spend hope before you roll. You can't spend hope after you roll.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I did. I used it. Didn't need it, but it's fine. Always good to have backup.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you. So the cave troll will reduce not 1 but 2d 2d
Ah.
2 die in order to swing this time.
Hey.
Hey. Small but fierce.
Yeah. I think you probably confused him because you were like, "Hey, stop it over there! You got that out!"
He's looking around.
Just wiggling the light around.
I will say, this is weird for this one because I believe that was the case. I would attack the open one, but since you're both in melee combat, I could technically attack both of you. But I don't see you're being protected. But it only says for the creature that's you're protecting. Me oh my. I'll be nice.
Confusion. Learning.
I'm gonna kill him on my next bow shot. It's gonna be fun.
So that is a 11 on the die plus 5, so that's a 16. So he doesn't pass you a Sharn, correct?
No.
All right. And rearward.
Half dead, I kind of stumble out of the way.
I'm gonna spend another hope, James.
Okay. Remember, y'all better be tracking your hope.
I am. I've got a fillable PDF.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hobbit though. Hobbit have lots. Oh, it's another 10 on the thing, so we're piercing again.
Let's go kill this thing.
Only 1/6 this time.
Only
3, 5, 7. Is a 21 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a pierce. So injury roll.
11.
Ah, it's a wound.
Oh, it's a second wound. And with the second wound, as you fire off, you strike him straight between the center of the eyes, and he slams down right in front of Asharn. His mouth kind of agape a little bit, and just the blood's dripping down his body from the wounds, and the creature just lays there dormant.
All right, now Orangeblossom.
At that
Remember.
point, you hear just that slam echo throughout the entirety of the tunnels.
Orangeblossom, remember what I taught you. Double tap. I'll just go up and start furiously stabbing it.
And I'm joining in with him, stabbing it in multiple places.
we're all just stabbing it.
Things is
Please
getting
be dead.
shanked.
I will say, because you have just witnessed a cave troll, and everybody kind of took a fear out of that. I'm gonna have everybody roll me a wisdom roll, please.
Okay.
I do roll all wisdoms favored because of hobbit sins.
Okay.
Yep. So is it?
Actually, you know what?
We're
Let me rephrase
adding-
that. I'm gonna redirect that because of the way it makes sense. It's actually not your wisdom; it would be your valor.
Okay, which is your heart target number, correct?
Yes, because it's your courage.
So I have failed.
Oh yeah, I failed. If that was wisdom, I would have passed.
Yep.
So it's heart. Okay, and it's plus. What are we adding? Are we adding our heart rating or the valor one?
The one valor.
Oh, nope.
So, at this point, as you watch the creature lying there on the ground, a creeping sense of despair comes across the three of you. You all take one shadow point.
Hooray.
Where do?
Okay, now quickly go through his pockets and then get the fuck out of here.
It has no
Does it have
pockets.
pockets? It's wearing a loincloth.
The cave troll has no pockets.
What are you talking about? Of course he has pockets.
In his marsupial pouch.
Where does he keep his snacks?
You see no snacks on him.
Probably.
All right,
just in his
let's
mouth.
get out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeet.
All right, so you have a couple different options. You can going down the railroad the tracks of the minecart, or you can take that. You can go back towards the open area that you saw going off the left side of the um, away from them, or kind of a tunnel to the left off the cart tracks.
Where did he come from?
He came from the tracks, deeper within the mine.
Say maybe we go the other way and don't go down the mine.
Yeah,
Well-
that's probably a good idea.
Well, the flip side
Because-
of that is what's gonna be living with a cave troll?
Other cave trolls.
Do cave trolls live
She
with
has
other
a
cave
point.
trolls? I don't know
Well-
how that works.
Well, didn't Bilbo
Are they not in, like, a herd?
encountered 3?
Those weren't cave trolls though. Those were hill
They-
trolls.
Oh, you're right.
Does it matter where the trolls are from? They're still trolls.
Yes, very much so.
So do you believe there's no more?
If this one was from Mordor, you wouldn't give a shit about it, would you? Because
Would
it wouldn't
flowers-
be here.
Oh Lord. Would flowers grow in a mine? Aren't we looking for flowers?
I don't know. You fell down here.
Yes, you did fall down here.
Wasn't on purpose.
Look, all I'm saying is there could be treasure down there, but
Oh,
we
God,
don't
there
have
could
to
be
necessarily
treasure.
risk our lives for it. Yeah, cave trolls, they have all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, that's where Bilbo found Sting, right?
They don't even have pockets. How do they have cool things?
Well, they have a place where they live and they hoard all of the things they found.
That
What if
sounds
we
like
do
a
see if
dragon.
they have treasure?
Bilbo found a bloody sword of the King of Gondolin.
We could have.
That didn't happen, did it?
Yes,
It did. I've
you
seen
should
it.
read a book.
It's not the Hobbit.
Well, what if there is something very valuable down there?
There could be. Or there could be death.
Someone else make this
Speaking from
decision because
experience,
I want to
I've
explore.
already experienced almost half death.
What do you mean experience? You don't even know what a human, you don't know what aging is.
He took a bloody great wound.
Oh, yes, I
Yes.
should probably have a look at that, shouldn't I?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Uncle,
well,
I think
hang
you
on.
probably should.
Hang on. Okay, turn your head and cough.
Is this helpful?
Do I need to make a healing roll just to check him out?
Yes, please.
18 is enough.
All right,
It's not great, but it's a pass.
you're good.
You're fine. Sleep it off.
Yeah, it seems that just the. I mean, it's just a natural wound. It took a lot out of him, but it wasn't anything. He doesn't seem to be developing any sort of weird disease. He doesn't feel under the weather, just out of breath.
All right. Well, what do we want to do?
Someone
Well,
else should decide because
no,
now that you've
speaking of
mentioned
this-
treasure, it's all I can think of.
That is all I can think of as well. And there's a lot of things I haven't seen in this world, and there might be something
Forward
down
we
there
go.
eventually.
Further up and further in, as they say.
So you venture in.
Yes.
All right.
Looking for cave troll treasure. This is how
Looking
you're
for that
supposed to play Lord of the Rings.
sweet loot.
Right. The same thing.
Stealthily.
Stealthily.
Very stealthily.
Keeping the lantern close to you to make sure that not too much light gives off, you slowly venture down deeper and deeper into the mine shaft, following the trailway as it winds and turns and goes for what seems to feel forever, until you come to the edge where you can see where the railway would stop, and you can see the pass kind of jarting off to the left, the right, and then a set of wooden planks ahead, leaning over what seems to be a bottomless ravine underneath.
That seems suspicious.
Just a bit.
Does seem pretty out of sorts.
It's very
What's that Ruddy
specific.
Great Hole doing there?
Who put that there?
And you can see that as you look across the ravine, you can see the wooden planks kind of go across and then kind of they almost curve around, and as if they were built over this massive ravine.
Do they look like they were built by goblins? You know what I mean. Do they look like a dwarf or a human built them, or do they look like somebody who like
It really looks
sings
more.
Do they
songs
look
about farting all
professional
day?
or do they look
It looks
MacGyver?
more like This looks very much more human crafted.
Okay. So it doesn't seem like he was singing like "Down, down to Goblin Town."
Oh,
He made this
Goblin
shit.
Town, yes.
I fought it twice and I rolled around. Okay. Well, that seems precarious. Do we want to go that way or?
What does your wisdom say, Ferdinand?
I have no knowledge of this place. Which direction does the air smell less foul?
Now that you're through the mine shaft, you would smell the air less foul heading towards over the planks.
All right.
Well,
Gandalf always said follow your nose in the story, so
So
Onward then.
as you step
it
on,
may have actually been in Lord of the Rings, not The Hobbit, but what are you gonna do?
it's his motto.
Gandalf said he always says it, so he couldn't have just said it that one time.
as you place your first step onto the wood, you hear it crank and kind of sway a bit. But after a moment, take a deep breath, you take another step, and another. And you slowly start to cross your way across this wood planked bridge. And as you get closer and closer to the other side, you can see now a set of broken down wooden stairs that lead up to what looks like a tunnel about 30 feet or so above where you guys are at.
Oh, this way.
And venturing up one step after the other through the tunnel, and you come to what looks like a small
Say hole.
hole.
Hobbits go in holes.
Not a dirty hole filled with worms.
Unnatural habitat.
It's an unnatural dirty hole.
That's rude. You should never say that about anyone.
Phrasing.
But you look up and you can see a small trapdoor sitting above you. Or above you.
In the hole?
In the hole.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let's
Pushing-
go that way.
Pushing the trapdoor open, you pop out, and now you are sitting in what seems to be a large stone archway in a ruined keep deep within the Trollshaws.
Some good treasure in the ruin. Keeping his Trollshaws.
Oh, we find some serious treasure in there.
Hey, Sean, I can't see. Look around and see what you can find. Look with your special eyes.
Oh no, you popped up outside. You're no
Oh.
longer inside.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Yeah, like you're actually in the Trollshaws now. You're deep within. You realize that you traveled underneath them for most of the trip, and you pop up in one of the ruined keeps. As
I understand.
Ooh.
Got
you can see
Right.
the trees all around, the moss has taken over most of the stonework around you, and you notice very quickly that this is one of the. This seems to be one of the old keeps from before the war.
Ooh, we should have a good look around and see if there's anything like a magic whistle or something.
A magic whistle.
Yes,
And
or a
what would this-
MacGuffin.
Step.
A walk.
A MacGuffin.
MacGuffin.
Stepping
What
through
does
the
that exactly-
archway of from the room that you're in currently, you head into a large room. Then the room is pretty much bare at this point. No furniture sits within here. The ceiling has slightly caved in at the far end of this, and there's a large two set of large double doors in the far distance of you. There seems to be two other rooms to the left of you, and you can see that the doors have kind of been pushed inward and kind of off on their hinges in the front.
James,
Yeah,
look at the chat.
I see the chat. I'm going to ignore the chat for the moment. The hole was deep. They fell in. No, you fell in.
What?
When you fell into the mine shaft, the hole was deep.
When
The hole you're
I
talking
don't think
about.
he's looking at the right chat.
Wrong chat.
That's right.
Wrong
the
chat.
12-year-old in me cannot handle this
Which
level
chat
of
am I looking
innuendo.
at?
The Zoom chat.
the Zoom
James.
chat.
Oh, that's different. I'm not looking at the Zoom chat. Goodness gracious.
All right.
All right. With that, it
Which-
seems we need to do some afternoon tea.
Yes.
Chat does nasty things. There we go. We're back to normal. So we're going to take a 5-minute break. Just a reminder for our friends here that while people are having their tea, you can submit inside the chat room by typing, let's go with Trollshaw. If you type Trollshaw, then at the end of the adventure, we're going to inform our next winner for the digital One Ring starter kit. So see you guys back in about 5 minutes.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey everybody, we're back. So, for our friends just watching, or just coming in, the group traveled down into they traveled into the Trollshaws. Orangeblossom fell into a hole. They dug around what seemed to be an ancient mine and then found their way out. Asharn took a heavy blow towards with the cave troll, and sadly, they were not able to discover the plant that Lord Elrond was looking for. But in order to make sure that they returned safely, they gathered their things, ventured back through the Trollshaws, this massive forest of danger, found themselves back on the road where they found their horses and returned back to Rivendell where they could check on their friends and report back to Lord Elrond what they had found in the Trollshaws. And that, my friends, is where our story will end. So I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful evening. We're going to wrap it up right here. Thank you, of course, to our cast, Ferdinand, Asharn, and Orangeblossom. Don't forget, come hang out with us on Wednesday for Tavern Talks with our amazing sponsor. What was the flag? Left when they're deep in. No, we're not. They're not deep in the hole anymore.
We got out.
They got out. They got out. They were not able to find the flower. However, they are returning to make sure that they are not killed while in the Trollshaws. And we will find out next what the rest of the party and they all will do next to discover what this mystery and this disease is all about. So we'll see you guys all very soon. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
Bye.